Twitch-AfrofishOG. What is up, everyone? It is Taylor here, AfrofishOG, again, along with my partner, Black Scorpio. And today we have two guests here. Say hello to Ms. Justine and Koga. How you going, y'all?
Good.
Great. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Awesome.
I'm all good here. It's all good. So I'm glad that we are able to actually all get this set up.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I'm learning as we get older, it gets more difficult.
Oh yeah, especially all the video games we miss and want to play, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm a person that sticks to my stuff. So once I get it, that's it. So, but today we have a really much more interesting topic today. So we're talking about gaming hot takes because as of all of us who have been playing video games for longer than 10 minutes, we all have opinions. And just like everyone else with opinions, we are going to share them on the internet. So today, since you guys are the guests today, I actually want you guys to give us both your first gaming hot takes. Justine, we'll start with you first. Because
I don't play much, so I don't know what to say. I mean, only games that I've really been playing is like my Nintendo game, which is Fair Farm, which, I mean, it's a Nintendo game.
Well, not only that though, but like you have been playing other games too. Like you're almost at affiliate as of right now, which we still need to get you there. But no, don't cut yourself short. You have played games, especially with Koga there. Like you guys.
I have recently started playing this PAL World, and I mean it is a demo, and well, not demo. I mean,
I try to get into games that she may or may not like. She plays let's just say laid back, friendly games. You know?
Yeah. But laid back or not, regardless.
That's cool though. That's cool though.
PAL World. Go
PAL
on.
World. My take on it, it's fun. But it is laggy, and they need to work on it a little more and make it more cross-platform. Because right now it's only on Xbox and Steam, and they need to make it more cross-platform.
Well, they are.
So you want it more diversified amongst the consoles. So you want it like PC, Xbox, PlayStation. You want it more diversified.
But
yeah,
they're
right
working
now
on it.
I can only play it with Xbox players. I can't play it with Koga. Because he's playing it on Steam.
Like, for example, PC players can play multiplayer and they can play certain game modes that people on our Xbox cannot right now at this moment in time. But it is being worked on. No, yeah, I already know. I've been playing it on the Xbox right here behind me. Right? You can see it, the white Xbox. She's got the Xbox S. We tried playing it together. It's a little buggy, but I mean, they don't have what PC has right now.
Well, I thought with Steam that it's already cross-platform because Microsoft owns basically like Xbox and everything. So you would think that the Xbox and PC players, like via Steam being on PC, would have been compatible.
It's
you never know.
We tried it.
Maybe just because PAL World was made by a smaller developer anyway, so maybe they were just focusing.
They did a great job.
Focus on one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we don't really know. I mean, that would be my best guess. Honestly. If you're talking about PAL World, I think PAL World was, even though I don't think it's perfect, and I don't think it's a Pokemon killer.
Not really, no.
No, not really.
Because I don't think it's going to be a Pokemon killer.
I could say
the way I explain PAL World is Pokemon and Ark had a baby.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard.
Yeah, that's exactly how I say it. Honestly, I said that before I even heard that.
Right. No, exactly. And that's where I think this kind of the same thing too.
I find it fun.
Yeah, it looks like fun. It's funny to me because I remember just hearing so many people talk about how it's a Pokemon killer. This is gonna be the end of Pokemon. But in reality, I mean, it was enough that it shook up Nintendo.
Oh yeah, and they really did. They really didn't like it.
No, they did not, and I'm really happy about that. I'm happy that it shook up Nintendo.
I mean, for years, Pokemon has been like the top dog, of those kind of characters and that kind of gameplay. All of a sudden, that comes out and it's like, Now they're like, no.
No, exactly. So I would actually say, in some regards, that's actually a really interesting thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
At least they had it so that boom, there's gonna be a bit of a scare. I mean, Pokemon realized that someone can come in and actually do something
With it, yeah.
better than what we do.
Yeah.
Which I'm totally fine with.
Yeah.
Koga, you go next.
Well, one of my favorite oldie games that goes way back is Metal Gear Solid. I love the campaign. I love the characters. I love the gameplay. I love the survival. Like, do you like what would you think about the game?
Like I haven't really played it much myself. My goal is to actually get into the Metal Gear Solid series now that they have the remasters, and then obviously, the Snake Eater remake. What up, Sarah? But I think it's weird because it actually, this is not really like much of a hot take, I would say, but this is definitely a gaming opinion.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I'd say it's really not cool that Metal Gear has been able to survive this long, but yet at the same time, Splinter Cell has just gotten the shaft.
Right, that's true.
And I actually that was something I was going to bring up in my kind of hot take, is that I think Ubisoft should just give the rights up of Splinter Cell because they're not doing anything with them anyways.
Actually, it's actually in talks about it being revived.
That's
Splinter Cell right now.
Well, I mean, the problem is that, at least that I see, right? The problem that I see is that Ubisoft is I'd say Ubisoft is the safest game company there is. And that goes above Game Freak. Like, Pokemon were at least like, hey, what if we pan the camera back? But like, Ubisoft has basically been making the same crap for multiple years. And then when you look at their Assassin's Creed, which ended up feeling a lot of homogenous, to the point where they felt like they had to go back to the original style of gameplay because people just didn't like basically Dark Souls combat featuring Assassin's Creed. Valhalla, as much as Valhalla is kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie, it is a really fun game, and it's a gorgeous game. It is not an Assassin's Creed game.
No, it's not.
No, I didn't play a lot of the Assassin's Creed, but I can say that I played a few different versions of them, and I did enjoy them. I can literally say that I sat there and enjoyed them, but I don't play them constantly like I do my other ones. But I mean, Assassin's Creed is a great game, all around. I just because it's not multiplayer, it's still a great game. Like, I love it.
It is.
Well, I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan myself.
I love jumping off those towers and everything.
Yeah, it did receive a lot of backlash. Yeah, like where the backlash of it actually. See, the funny thing is though, it's not the only one that received the backlash. Like, yeah, you have Unity that also received a lot of backlash because of the multiplayer aspect where they just epically failed. Where 4 has gotten it right, at one point, but Unity, like. Yeah, Unity, as soon as you say Unity, everybody's like, oh god, like right away. Unity is just, again, the redheaded stepchild that nobody wants. Like,
well, if you guys remember 3, remember 3, and when the demo came out for 3, when they were trying to reveal it, and it was like broken.
Well, the thing about 3 is like, it's people would think the third one would be part of the Ezio thing. It's not. 3 was about the American Revolution. It was the one that took place in the States. Yep. But the thing about Valhalla, like, yeah, you see it loses it as soon as it hits kind of the Unity era, where that's where they started to try to do something different, where they went with like 7 and everything, where the moment they got to the new age of Origins, that's where they turned from we're not going to go stealth anymore. We're not going to go this. We're going to go the way of Dark Souls, like the hack and slash version of, like, now it's open combat, which they epically failed, but apparently everybody likes it, which, okay, they loved Origins, then they loved Odyssey, but then they backlash like Valhalla, and then, okay, well, what are you going to do about Hex? What are you going to do about the one that's set in Code Red in Japan? Or China? What are you gonna do about like Mirage? Like, Mirage is considered a DLC right now. That's also getting backlash as well. Like, even though I haven't played it yet, like, I'm willing to delve into them. But yeah, like, Ubisoft, although is a safe is a safe thing.
Before you can't listen to everything that you hear. You got to try it first, right, for yourself.
Right. Right. And yeah, Mirage, I've heard about Mirage being short. Again, hence why it should have been considered like the DLC version aspect of it, but it's just an extension.
It kind of feels like it's like the pre-sequel of Assassin's Creed games. Or
right.
Like the
it kind of
Morales of Assassin's Creed games.
It kind of like foreshadows, hey, it's foreshadowing Assassin's Creed 1, which took place with Altair and everything. Like, no matter how many times they try to go back to the Altair Assassin's Creed 1, it doesn't work. Like, it can't. The later ones just kind of get misconstrued. The only one that would have been Origins, and that's it, because it predates, again, the whole.
Okay.
But yeah, as for what you're saying about it being safe, it's better to be safe than sorry. But yes, it sucks that they kind of got the shaft, but there is a revival of the Splinter Cell series coming up, because I'm a huge fan of, like, I do like Ubisoft as a company, because like Splinter Cell, Assassin's Creed, everything. So like it hits me a little different in those cases. So that's where I could see, you know what, I would rather have them be safe than sorry. And the thing, even with the Metal Gear too, is it is getting a revival. It is getting a remake. It is getting a remaster. You could get the originals 1, 2, 3, as well right now, because of Snake Eater. But I want to see them enhanced more. I want to see the later versions of 1, 2, 3, not the PlayStation 1 eras 1, 2, 3. I want to see the newer versions. So when Kojima came out on our State of Play and said that, this new stealth action redefined is coming out with, what was it called again? Like Fist or something like that. Maybe that's code name for Metal Gear Solid again, or maybe it's a whole brand new genre on its own.
I think that's my thing with like but like Ubisoft, is that Ubisoft doesn't feel like a lot of their shit has borderline like branched out from innovation. While they like, we'll just hit the Dark Souls because that was kind of the trend at the time, you know. Right. But then it was like when they went to like something like Far Cry games. Far Cry just dipped in from they went straight into the number shooter. You know what I mean? Because it's easier, it's more marketable. You know what I mean? It's more marketable, and it's just like, at least in my view it is, but like you can do more, you can get the DLCs and all this shit. Like, I love when I see, like, if I had to fight in a firefight and there's actual like blood coming out of them, and not just like, you hit someone for 45 damage, 45, 45, 45, 55. That's not fun to me. That's boring, because I'm doing so many micromanagement shit.
More realism, right?
Yeah, there's a sense of immersion that gets lost.
Koga,
I love realism.
Yeah, but Koga, didn't you play Far Cry?
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. Just like he said, like he's saying, Afro's saying, right? I wish that you didn't see numbers. Maybe you'd see like them getting pushed back when you hit. Like, imagine you hit them in the shoulder, they'd be like this, right? Well, instead of more realism, instead of like, I shot you, all I see is a number.
No, exactly, and that's why like I kind of wish those kind of games would set, like Borderlands. Obviously, it makes sense because they've been doing it since the beginning. You know, games like Destiny, I don't think does it. I think.
Have you heard of Tarkov? It does it.
Tarkov?
Isn't it? You don't see numbers when you shoot them. Escape from Tarkov. It's a computer game. It's a great realism game that I can recommend to anyone that wants to play on PC. No joke. It's realism. Like, you got to run around. You gain your strength. You throw grenades. You gain strength. You got to eat, drink. You can put your guns on. Like, you could build your gun in so many different ways. It's actually nuts. You have no clue. And the armor you can put on and the backpacks, the more you put in your backpack, it actually weighs you down and makes you slower.
That sounds also like PUBG.
And
but
also
Tarkov is more realism than any other game I know right now.
I
know right now.
Well, no, PUBG, Tarkov, and also Vigor. Vigor was another one. Don't count.
Yeah, you were playing that for a while.
That's true. I played that with you.
Yeah, don't you remember? We also streamed it for a while.
I forgot about the fact that you don't see numbers. You just get shot, you're dead.
I don't find them much enjoyment, but Scorp, give me one of yours.
I got over it a little bit.
Honestly, there's too many. Like, there's too many hot takes and everything. So with me, it's it's not so much of like the games. Like I'm just currently on a Baldur's Gate run right now, but jumping on what Koga is saying about these numbers, the numbers are there for the visuals. The numbers are there for people that want to see that they're actually doing something, that feel like they're doing nothing. That's where it's at.
Or they're shooting.
Allow me to turn them off. Like that's the only thing is like allow me to toggle them on and off.
Right. Some games do actually have that settings where you do want to see the stats, the hit points, or everything, or kind of make it like opaque and kind of like make it just just have it like gone in general.
Mute your mic, honey.
Hey, no peanut galleries.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but like I said, like I'm actually having fun right now on a Baldur's Gate run. Hot take of, I know you're probably sick of it, me talking about it, but this, I was stuck on a fight for 2 days that to get to Act 3, and you know what, it's hard as shit on balanced. I was struggling with it and everything, and I've even looked it up. I searched up.
I'm gonna mute my mic. I'm gonna make sure that this is over and done with.
No problem.
Okay.
But what people were talking about how the difficulty, and out of everything that I've read, people had to drop and lower the difficulty to casual. They had to lower the difficulty down to explore. Now here's the take of what I'm getting now. People nowadays, gamer wise, don't have a lot of patience as they should. That's my gripe. Here I am, like, I'm stubborn, and everybody knows the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting a different outcome but getting no resolve. I sit there and you know what? Praise RNGesus that comes by with this godforsaken algorithm that messes me over for 2 days. I could not move. Okay? So I sat there and I said, you know what? I'm going to get it. I'm going to force myself to get it. And I did. It took me 2 days to change, with a lot of patience, to change my shit just to beat it. And you know what? I feel good. That's my hot take.
That reminds me when you played Resident Evil.
Right.
And I was watching you. Yeah.
You see, I'm stubborn.
That boss, yeah.
So my hot take is not about the games. My hot takes is about the gamer and accepting for what, like, to the grind. That's what it is. It's accepting the grind and not having to switch difficulty levels. You know what? Do you feel bad? No, but you feel like you're cheating yourself. That at least that's what I feel out of it. So again, after I beat it, like I said, okay, I just want to see the difference. My characters are all level 9, and I'll just go into one character. It has 87 health for one character. I dropped it down to explore. It said it had 144 or something like that. So if I were to drop it down, that means I'm kind of cheating myself by having more health and the enemy having less health.
Sorry.
Welcome back. To pass it? No, the grind is there for a reason. So that's my hot takes.
Okay. Okay. So I definitely understand. I wanna actually kind of build upon that. Because what you said about the grind and how people are not as willing to do it, because this gives me a lot of Dark Souls vibes. You know what I mean? For a long time we had a lot of people talking about Dark Souls vibes, Dark Souls being like, oh well, the game's just too hard, right?
Yeah.
So I need to dumb it down. I need to make it easier. Why can't I just make it easier? Because I don't want to try when I'm going and I'm doing these things, and there's like I've always said, there's always games for everyone, but just because there's games for everyone does not mean that every game needs to be for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that games like the one you mentioned with Baldur's Gate is D&D. If you don't get the concept of D&D, you will not understand this game.
No,
exactly.
You will not understand it, and
you know what you're doing.
That's fine. Yeah, you actually have to know what you're doing. When you mentioned the grind, there's actually something I thought about that was kind of interesting, and it's because we have a very diluted version of what the grind is. The grind with Baldur's Gate is that you don't see shit right away.
No.
Now, like let's say I'm playing a game like Borderlands, or I'm playing a game like Destiny, or I'm playing games like something like that. Their grind is that I boom 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 got my enemy. I had to work to get up to another level, but that level doesn't take very long.
Yeah, the grind materials. That's the hardest part.
When I play what game was it? Like Borderlands, right? Borderlands 3 doesn't take that long to grind up. It really doesn't. But it's not made to be a serious D&D type game. Even Tiny Tina's Wonderland that contains D&D aspect.
Tiny Tina's
as I'm playing right now. Even games that like Tiny Tina's that contain D&D aspects might have a little bit longer grind, but that's just because the game is like you're going only to 40 levels than 60 or than 72. But it doesn't take that long. Now, Baldur's Gate's a different story. Like you need to grind. There's a lot of stuff to do. Even in the first act, there's a lot of stuff to do in the first act. You just have to be willing to go and do it. And you're not going to see the results right away. If you're not smart, your characters are going to die. Yes. Why would you go? You can't go run. You can go running in guns blazing. I play it on Explorer. I'm not going to lie. I played on the easiest mode. I don't give a fuck. But I'm having an enjoyable with it. But I still, guess what? There's quite a few times that you can ask Scorp where I ran in guns blazing and I took an L big time.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of freaking Diablo 4.
There you go.
That's a grinding game that, like, I like playing Diablo 3 because Diablo 3 is really easy and I didn't really have to work really hard on it. Diablo 4, you have to work really, really, really hard for, and I don't understand the game because there's more aspect to it where you have to put charms with your armor and this and that, and you know what, that just makes my brain hurt.
Well, again, now when we're talking about the grind, there's also different grinds. Yes, there's the grinding games aspect. So being also a Diablo fan, definitely, yeah. The reason why you were struggling with it is because, again, it's more for fans that played since Diablo 1. Diablo 2 introduced it, and those two back in the day, around that time period, it wasn't there to baby steps. You had to either know it or you didn't. You either got past it or you struggled. Those were the unfortunately the days of yore that we grew up with. Those were the days of like
those
honestly,
are the OG days, man.
Yeah, those are the OG days. Those are the days that, you know what, you had to look up on cheatcc.ca or .com. Like you had to look up game guides. You had to look up. You didn't know what you were doing. Yeah, the cheat code centrals and everything, like online cheats back in the days, like the / whatever, entering commands days. But you know what?
However the heck you want.
Exactly. But those are the days. Yeah, and especially what you're saying, Diablo 4. Yeah, there's the grind. Taylor, what you were saying is, or Afro, about how the whole grind with Borderlands. Borderlands is not a grind. Shooters are not a grind. Like, again, I am a shooter in RPG, but shooters, there's no grinding to shooters unless you're going for like Call of Duty.
A small grind.
Yeah, unless you're going for like Call of Duty grind where you're grinding camos or weapons. That's a different story. Those grinds, but they're not meant for you to like tear out your hair.
No.
Well, no. I mean, the thing is, no, you didn't miss anything, Flamingo. So one of the things about is this is how I look at grinds from Baldur's Gate versus grinds from like when we talk about like even I'm gonna use even something like Pokemon, because Pokemon actually does have a bit of a grind to it.
It does,
especially if you are trying, like once you get to, because there's always gonna be a spike. The thing with Pokemon, for example, I'm gonna use Pokemon. Is like there's always there's gonna be a difficulty spike somewhere.
Yeah.
Whether it is, in Gold and Silver, it was Whitney's Miltank. You know what I mean? In Ruby and Sapphire, it's Norman's. It's Norman with his slacking. There's always going to be a part where things are going to start spiking a little bit.
Right.
And the thing about it is that gets me is that with a lot of games, when it comes to the grind,
hey Sarah,
when it comes to the grind, it still has, I don't know, I want to say, it still has like a sense of like you're constantly having the carrot in front of your face. You know what I mean? Now, like, oh, you know, with Borderlands example, when things start to not go your way, the game will actually give you a chance to find a rare item. Baldur's Gate, it's not like that. You can go, you can go almost a whole portion and not really find shit.
Yeah, because Baldur's Gate, it's on the rarity of the drop. It's not like it's gonna be like, oh, the game knows and it's gonna give you something better.
Right.
You know?
I mean,
it's like playing
Borderlands does that. You have crappier gear, and then you go to open something new. Eventually, like really soon, you're gonna get something way better than what you had.
Mm-hmm.
To me, dropping rare stuff. It reminds me of World of Warcraft. Because you never know what kind of gear you're gonna get, especially when you attack a big boss, and you don't know what kind of gear you're gonna get.
Sometimes you do, but you're not.
And again, so that
you're
not exactly.
That's another grinding game.
Like, it is. Well, and again, that's what
certain items drop,
like,
but it doesn't mean you're gonna get it.
Well, just like what Afro was saying as well about the whole Borderlands, the grind. He was there. How many times did you grind the boss for him to drop that weapon? Remember when we were playing? You said you took him out like what 20 times?
The Monarch.
Yeah, about what 20 times? How many times did it take you to try to go for him? Like,
yeah, I think. Let's see. Hold on. My hot take personally is that Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire is over. You better watch yourself right now because those are my favorite of the games.
Good. Keep going. Get him educated. Go. Keep going.
I just hear everyone talking about it, so I try to find something else to play. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's yeah. You wanna.
My favorite has to be yellow, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
yellow and red.
Mine is violet. Mine's the newest one that not like
yellow and red. I love them.
Okay, I will say that so
I love how you can Pikachu follow you around in the yellow one, and then the red one is just my favorite because I love red, but other reasons.
Right. No. Well, and the thing is, when I look at, I know I did a mention with Pokemon, but I'm gonna finish up. Yeah. Oh, great! Now I got on. I got onto that one. Yeah, that got under my. That one got under me.
You got him.
Got on me a little bit. I was like, "Oh, hold on there." But it's because we're like Flamingo, and I'm not lie, Flamingo. When you're like, but it's not a bad thing. Excuse me. Like, you ain't gonna just call my game that I play overrated and then be like, oh, well, that's not a bad thing. That's like getting punched in the stomach and being like, it could have been worse.
Yeah, it could have been a shot to the balls.
Right. Exactly.
Or kick.
I think when you talk about, the grind, and I think, a lot of players now are getting used to the instant gratification. They're not used to games that require trial and error.
They don't understand trial and error. They just want the trials.
Don't understand trial and error.
They just want the straight path.
If at first you don't succeed the first time, bitch about it till the company lowers it.
That's why I'm the biggest fat ass that has that carrot in front of my face, and I keep chomping at it because I am that grind. I am that trophy hunter.
Like for me,
I'm a trophy hunter.
I don't know how many times I've watched Scorpio. He shared his screen several times with me when we played freaking Resident Evil 4 or whatever, and he would just be grinding. I've
already put 300 hours into that. Yeah.
And this is off stream, and he's just grinding and grinding and grinding. It's like,
yeah, we'd be talking to him while he's doing it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's like, hey, what are you doing today? I'm just 500 hours in on COD. Doing what? I have no clue with my life. Oh, hey, what are you doing today? Oh, I'm just 600 hours in on Fortnite. What are you doing? I don't know, just grinding away with my life. Oh, what are you doing now? Oh, I'm just 1,000 hours away on Assassin's Creed, just platinuming one through hell. Yeah, sure, okay, respected.
No, exactly, and that's the thing is you have to put in that work though too. Like I said, I think we all kind of agreed too is that trial and error just don't exist. I mean, I've had it before where I've played Elden Ring for, let's say Elden Ring. I'm not good at Elden Ring, and I'm very much open about that I'm not good at Elden Ring. He absolutely is.
No,
but the fact that you'll play Elden Ring just a little, and I might quit it, and then I might delete it after a while, and then I'll come back to it, and then I'll keep going. So I think with I think with the grind, I think
yes. Deleted.
I think
She
I
got
missed
time.
I totally lost.
I'm not.
I think
Oh damn! I can't type it or else I'll get in shit. Hold on. Let me type it here. Oh no, you can hear me. Ha! Nah,
Enjoyable.
she got timed out because of Afro's mod.
Oh, she's
my mod.
Sarah's watching you
Bad mod.
on Twitch.
Yeah, you
That's
gotta
what
watch it up on
is.
YouTube because then you won't get kicked out. But like I think that like overall, I think that's one thing that I think we all kind of agree. Now, not really a hot take, but it's definitely a gamer opinion that like a lot of gamers don't feel like they don't trial and error just don't do a thing anymore.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of and there's a lot of games that still require trial and error. I mean, shit, if you look at the old old Mario games, the old games how they were made for that replayability over and over and over. You know,
However, if you know the old Mario cheats where you can get all the lives instantly and just beat the game every single time, which I do know it, by the way. Literally, there's no trial and error after that. All you have to do is get the 3 flutes, get all the mushrooms you want, and you're gold. You'll never lose.
I don't
No
know
trial
how
and
many.
error.
I don't know how many.
Except for
times
when you have to redo the level over and over until you get used to it. You know.
well, and that's the thing is like, but that's the thing. You have to get used to it.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the big thing. That's the thing. Yeah. Oh, okay. That is it. I was like, who the hell is Mirth? Like, but that actually solves so much. Okay, thank you. But no, I think you have to go and get used to it. This is where you see a lot of the Dark Souls and like people start in the community. They'll be like, why can't I just ease my way through it and just enjoy the story? Well, those games aren't made for that. And that's where I said before, like every game, there's a game out there for everybody, but not the games aren't not there made for everybody, if that kind of makes sense. Just because there's a game, you know, and I think it's okay to be like, it's okay. I don't think all games need an easy mode, even if people are like, wow, they'll make more money off of it and blah, blah, blah. Half the time they don't care. Like, because they already know they're going to spend money on it.
And
exactly.
Like, people want to watch, like, when I saw a Dark Souls, you ever see the God Run? Okay,
I've never played
it's a 17-hour fucking video.
It's a long video.
Say it works is fine, but like, so the thing is that it's a 17-hour video thing. I mean, if I can find it, like,
okay, sir.
So maybe it's not 17. I think maybe it took him 17. It took him over 300 attempts. All 7 Source-born games without taking a hit.
Prince of Persia. Without taking a hit. That's hard to do.
Without taking a hit. Okay, I can find it. Here it is. So let me go post this up on the screen here just to kind of show how ridiculous this is. So this guy here, it's all without taking a hit. So Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and Elden Ring.
That's a hard game to play.
And he does them all without taking a hit. Now the God Run was a bit different. I can't find necessarily the person who does it, but the God Run was straight through. One game after another game after another game without stopping.
So in other words, this dude just beat the game, like speed run the game.
No, and that's the thing. Like when you see, and that's the thing.
That's what it sounded like. That's what
when he was done, I was like, "Holy cow!" You know what I mean? And I think when you look at any kind of grind, even when I use the Souls games, right? The Souls games to me aren't. I just struggle with them because I don't understand attack patterns very well. Like those aren't the games that I'm for me, I'm good with. I'm good with like speed-based games where I'm like, I just let my ADHD take over and just put it into gear 5 and we just book it. You know what I mean?
Whereas I'm more methodical. I take my time. Like it might be for me, but those games might be even too troublesome for me. But it's not the fact of not like getting down the patterns correctly. It's just I don't know. It's just you get too much into your own mind because you get too methodical. You're already predetermining everything, and it screws you over. Speaking of, I'm going to be doing an attempt at one of those in Bloodborne again, eventually coming up.
Yeah, well, I can't wait until this month where Final Fantasy VII comes out. Like, I have already beaten Final Fantasy VII, the remake, and I can't wait for Rebirth to come out because like that's like the expansion, and I'm just gonna like power drive right through the game.
Exactly. I can't wait either. I'm putting up my schedule after for that. Like,
Right.
Yeah, well, right. I mean, like, I'm probably gonna have to wait till it's cheaper to buy it, but I mean, I'm gonna have to wait. But I mean, like, I don't care to wait.
You won't have to wait. You're gonna get it. Don't worry.
No,
Don't worry.
Absolutely. I think this isn't really like this is something I actually mentioned. This isn't really a hot take, but it's really kind of a gamer opinion as well. I guess it's kind of a hot take. I don't think at this point every fighting game should have some sort of like create a character.
Oh, I like that, but I mean, not all of them should now.
Like obviously games like Smash Bros. It's not a fighting game, but whatever. Really shouldn't. But like Tekken, there should be no reason why Tekken can't hold in a create a character mode. Street Fighter, you can make it work.
Street Fighter 6? Oh yeah, I got it.
Street Fighter 6 kind of does, I guess, a little bit.
Well,
Mortal Kombat, you can.
Okay.
The reason why is because when I look at games like SoulCal does it the best. So they just say here,
awesome.
Instead of playing as Nightmare, you use the soul of Nightmare, right? Which basically means you're just playing as Nightmare with different skins.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm totally okay with that. If they did a Tekken one where I could play as like Nina Williams or Steve Fox, but like I can just create my character separate, that's fine to me. I don't stand on this point why we still
make your own character, kind of like a WWE game.
Yeah, let me make my own characters. Like I have
like
a lot
how
of fun
you
with
want it. Like if you want your character to be chunky or skinny or
well, we can't have them be chunky because we got to make sure that they're super fat phobic.
Yeah.
But like
I'm just saying, like, there's some people where
there's some people that like to make weird characters
to be like they want their character to be a female character and they want big boobs or
leave my characters out of this.
Yeah, I feel like you're kind of attacking all of us right now.
Yeah. Great. Now I have to go tape up my monitor. As I'm stuck in shut up. You're not gonna accuse me of being
the reason why Baldur's Gate didn't allow me full customization. Just everyone would just look like anime characters.
Yeah. You just want your character to look like a freaking hooker.
Right. Well, I mean,
okay. I told you, leave hooker out of this. Stop giving away my secrets.
But like, the thing that's so funny too is like, I just don't understand the fact of just not being able to put in the creative. Like you'll put in all these little trinkets. Like you'll give me like a baseball cap or like a fedora or like a fuzzy like fur coat or something like that.
So you're describing a pimp?
Shut up.
A fedora with fur coat. Pimp comes to mind.
Cap? What pimp uses the baseball cap? Like
no, but the fedora and the fur coat comes to mind.
Okay, and yeah, maybe if I want my character to look like that dude from Saints Row 3 with the fucking
see, you guys are both making my point. Everybody loves to make their own character, and some are just weird, but that's okay because that's you, and that's what you enjoy, right?
I'm like, I think
but it's awesome if you could do that.
There's no reason why they shouldn't have.
Yeah, I get that.
Don't get me wrong. I've been wanting to play the new Saint Row.
Okay, so here's the thing. Before we continue, I'm gonna say I don't think it does. I really don't. I don't think that because someone has a larger chest that equals instant fan service. No, it's how they can constantly like you can have like be a person who has a bigger chest, but is just a more moderately dressed person. You know what I mean? And that's not that big of a deal. Now, if you are purposely like trying to reveal yourself, I think that's a different story. Now, that was where the people will start claiming it's fan service. But just because someone has a larger chest doesn't necessarily immediately equal fan service.
I think people are trying to like make their characters or whoever people in general are trying to make themselves look like Dolly Parton, because people have said several times that Dolly Parton got breast implants. No, those are real. I mean, those are real.
Well, I mean, I think it's also the fact that you get people of all different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's
we get people
of
all different plasticity. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I think right. You know, and I think it's just. I don't think it's that. Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like I said, it also depends, because then you got games that will like have someone with like a larger chest, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe they would do that. Blah blah blah. I can when your demographics mostly dudes.
Yep.
I mean,
or they speak like they're trying to be a Texan, but they're not Texan, or they're trying to speak another language when they're not.
It's called role playing.
I know.
You know what it is?
I mean,
no, you know what it is? It's that one person that's sitting there that's bitching, that takes a look at their own chest and says, why can't my boob save the world? It's because in the video game, they flash it and the world dies.
Yeah.
And they look at themselves and they're like, I'm fugly.
Yeah.
Well, stop playing the video game and go be yourself.
No, and here's the thing is that, you know, at the end of the day,
everybody is beautiful in their own way. Yeah. Just put the game down. Just shut the game and go look in a mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful.
Exactly.
Just tape up the mirror after it cracks, but just say you're beautiful and walk out the door.
I will say, why would you do that? So then they go out into the real world and realize that reality doesn't think the same.
Exactly.
The thing is that too is
yes, a pimp named Slickback. Yes, Flamingo said it.
I think one of the issues that a lot of people have with that too is that it's not that huge of a deal until it becomes an attention to itself. You know what I mean? Like I always use, like, people would used to shit on Bayonetta all the time. And I was like, is that because you don't look like Bayonetta? Is it because you want to look like Bayonetta?
No, I want to stretch.
Let's be honest.
I want to stretch like her.
People want to see conveniently attractive people on the screen.
So why the hell am I on the
screen?
screen?
I want to be like Elastic Woman.
Nobody wants to see
because that's why you're on a podcast and not on actual movies.
Yeah.
But I want to be like Elastic Woman off of Fantastic Four. Oh wait, no, that's not Fantastic Four. Off of.
No, it's fine. I'll wait.
What's that movie? It's a kids movie.
It's The Incredibles.
There you go.
The Incredibles, yeah.
I'm here now.
See it, bro.
I'm beautiful.
Yeah, I want to be Elastic Woman.
Surprised it lasted that long.
Off of The Incredibles.
No, and the thing is, like, I think it's like, it's so crazy to me because, like, people they just want to see. That's why, like, when people want to see someone like Scarlett Johansson, she's a conveniently attractive person, you know, or like someone like Idris Elba. If they ever take, like, we want a conveniently attractive person, it's going to be Idris Elba over myself. I just know that, like, 10 out of 10 times. Like, you know, and so when you create your characters, when people create characters, they want to create characters that they're conveniently, like, more attracted to. Like, it's just this is how that is. I think personally getting mad at the fact that someone that you create a character that's just that you know, oh well, they just want to see a hot character on the screen. Yup. And sorry that you're just not that person, but like a lot of games have created characters, have a created character.
They do.
They do. But the funny thing is that here's the funny thing though, the ones bitching about it don't even understand that there's other gamers out there that have that want to create their characters to look exactly identical to the way they look.
Exactly.
So if those people are the ones that are like, I'm gonna make my character to how I kind of feel. Like, kind of looks like me in a way, generalizes themselves. Why are the ones bitching about it not doing that?
Like,
build yourself to how you feel in the game.
Like, you have such a big problem about it. No,
like
you could just click randomize and you're done.
Yeah,
just like, even though you don't get the best character look, you know what I mean?
No, exactly. Or it's
get
like,
over it.
Hey, do I see Idris Elba in this game? Like, let me try to customize my character to look like him. No, try to make it look like yourself. If it comes out even as fugly or as it is impossible, then you know you did something right. You look better than a video game character.
Right.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm not sorry about offending. Just
No.
I'm just speaking the truth. Like, come on, you're really gonna get offended over a video game character? All it is
that's the thing
imagination.
is like
it's not you, it's a game. So
Exactly. So
like we aren't all perfect and we ain't all the same. So I mean,
exactly.
So that's why I say some people though they do make some weird characters, but that's their character. If they're happy with that, be happy. You know, you made your character.
Yeah, you ever seen some of the characters people make in The Sims?
Oh
like,
my
lord!
There's a reason why it's called The Sims. Sims.
Yeah.
Right, and the people who care typically is like the people who don't actually play the game. It's kind of like the people who like bitch about
Have
like
you seen people
like comics, you know what I mean, or like, oh my god, there's no representation in comics. Never actually.
Dude, did you even see the characters in Street Fighter 6 online when you play online with people? Did you see some of the characters in there? Like, I mean, some of them look great, but just in my opinion, it's like, how did you go from that to like I've seen a guy where his body was like literally looked like he was a pancake. No joke.
I mean, I tried that one time,
and it made me laugh.
I told you it was a mistake.
But at least he's happy with it.
Yeah.
No, I was not happy with it.
No, I meant the guy that did that.
I know.
But
No,
but of course you wouldn't be happy with that.
No, because every time the freaking wind would blow, I'd fall over sideways and can't get up.
I can't get up.
Yeah, seriously, call Life Alert.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah, you're feeling like you're being attacked? Not like I swear this channel attacks me all the time.
Well, I hope you don't feel like you're being attacked because everybody's equal.
Everybody, but they're not. Anyways, like
no, they're not.
Scorpio, I like you for who you are. You look fine just the way you are.
No, you don't. You know what you like. This is what you like. Okay. This is what you like.
I am the
That's
double.
what you like. A circle.
No.
You are just a circle.
I'm just a circle.
I am the double
You're
standard.
not
I'm a turkle.
Yeah.
I'm the worst at creating a sim, but then again, I don't care. I'll love anyone that the fugly sim dies to. But like that's the thing is like you know when you create a character like in Skyrim, right? Like I want to create like a conventionally attractive character in Skyrim, just so everyone knows that Chad the man decides to go on a fucking like the one thing that made me crack up is I'm like can I just play as an orc that doesn't look like they've been hit by a bus? Like, if I create an ugly character, that's fine.
Don't worry.
No offense, but I picked.
Okay.
I picked. Not Skyrim, but
Are you thinking of a version of one?
Yes.
Elder Scrolls,
No.
the online version, or are you talking about
Oblivion,
the first one?
Oblivion, yes.
Oblivion.
I'd rather play Oblivion.
Oblivion is Elder Scrolls, but it's the first one with no online. Oblivion is before Skyrim.
I will argue with you till I'm blue in the face that Skyrim and Elder Scrolls and Oblivion are not.
First,
Oblivion.
There's an older one than Oblivion, though. I forget the name of that one.
I only like Oblivion because it was on the Xbox 360. That was the first game that I've ever freaking played. I know. And I like that game. But yes, that is a grinding game. But I mean, the graphics were pretty shitty. But I mean,
on Oblivion,
that was like 2000. That was in like the 2000 game. So I mean, like graphics today weren't like then.
Well, graphics back then. I mean, the thing about Oblivion, since we're kind of just jumping topics over to Oblivion, though.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say about Oblivion is Oblivion's more cartoony art style fits for what it is. Back then, yes, everyone was like, "Oh my god, it was so cool." But then when you look at it now, it's like really uncanny. There's like really elongated faces and all this stuff, and but it works for that. You know what I mean? It works for it. Then you go to Skyrim, which has a different feel to it. That's, I think, a good way of how to differentiate the games.
Similar game, but yeah.
But I mean, like. That's the kind of game, like, I liked. But, I mean, I don't even, I think that was a completely offline game.
Mm-hmm.
Oblivion was complete offline. So, I mean, I didn't play games that were online.
No, you didn't.
I mean, I was a kid back then, and internet wasn't a thing for me. So I mean,
No, exactly. And so I think, like Oblivion 2, you had these goofy kind of looking characters because of the time period. And even when I look at like Mass Effect's another one that has kind of interesting looking characters. I think also it's just, when you create a character, like I think when you create a character, like I think it's always fun. For me, I always try to create someone. The first one I'll always create will be a character that kind of looks like myself. And then the second one will be usually like I'll usually do the opposite gender of a character.
yeah.
So the first one's usually a male, second one after that is a female, and I purposely will take them different routes, unless I can't. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can't do that. Like I just cannot do a certain way. Like if it's like an evil act that just hits me at like a moral core, I can't do that act. Which I'll never be able to do the evil playthrough for fucking Baldur's Gate because I did realize I got everyone wiped, and I actually felt such like shit that I restarted.
You didn't want to do that.
No.
Well, yeah, that's a lot. But yeah, going into creating characters, there's a lot of games that do, and then some are just go better into it than others, right? Like you're saying.
Like so.
What? Okay.
Yeah, it's funny because like I love creating characters as much as possible, but oh no, when it comes to creating characters, like I always try to differentiate as much as possible, unless it's like fighting characters. Like I said, what game were we talking? Soul Calibur is really good. Soul Calibur is really good at this, and I just like there's so many stupid things you can make. Like I love making like characters with like super high pitched voices. So like Nightmare with like a really like high pitched voice, and you're just like, oh, okay.
You got this really, really scratchy voice at the
end. Yeah, like no, exactly. And like you gotta do the like voices way down here as he's like whipping nunchucks. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, those are always fun. I wish I could, I wish they would do something with the Soul Calibur game again. I mean, they haven't really made another one yet that I know of that is the greatest.
Well, it's time to do it though. That's the thing. It's time to do because I just did a video on it. Street Fighter, yeah. I mean, Street Fighter had a big gap between. Mortal Kombat had a pretty decent gap between. Tekken had a big gap between like entries. So I think it's now time for Soul Calibur to get it.
I should. I mean, unless they end up deciding they're going to build a whole different genre of fighting game.
Right.
Because I mean, it's been the same. It's been the same, but they've switched it up here and there all the time. But other than that, it's always been the same kind of fighting style. You know what I mean? Same power up, same fighting back and forth. It's not like you can run around. You know what I mean? I like that freedom. We have, like it used to be like they'd be fighting back and forth on each other, but then there's the ones where you can fight, but you got that ability to run around in all 3D, like literally everywhere.
No, and the
whole
thing too is
yours.
like I'm not gonna lie, I can't stand 3D fighters.
Oh, I love it. I don't know why.
I think it's because like okay, so like when I think of 3D fighters, I think of like Naruto, the Storm games, the Dragon Ball, Budokai Tenkaichi 4, which I'm excited for. But like those ones are like the Naruto. The Naruto ones are like the 3D fighters, and I think I honestly want to do one about anime and about anime games because I really think that anime games don't usually turn out that well, especially these like fighting ones. Jump Force, J Star, the Naruto.
There's one anime game that I miss playing. I actually replayed it recently, not too long ago, which is Dot Hack series.
Yeah,
I love that. That was a good one.
But no, you tried. You when Jump Force first came out, you tried it for like 1 second, and because it wasn't in English, you're like, nope,
No, I'm not.
You want a game that's in English.
If I'm sitting there, I want to listen. I don't want to sit there and have to read everything. I want to actually play the game. Like
See, I
that.
don't mind.
I hate that.
Mind
I
the
don't.
subs. Like I don't mind subversions. Like that doesn't bother me at all. The thing that got me with with Jump For, and I understand why, because getting all those people to do all those voices is not easy.
No.
So I understand.
But it's a good game.
It's okay. It's I would disagree. I would say it's meh at best.
But speaking in Japanese, like I don't speak Japanese. Koga doesn't speak Japanese. How am I supposed to understand what they're saying? And
subtitles.
I don't want
subtitles.
But people that can't read, what are you supposed to do?
Learn to read.
You text. Well, text to speech.
Text to speech, yeah.
No, that's actually a good thing. It's although it is kind of funny.
For some, it's harder to read than others.
It is, yeah.
So how are they going to enjoy it when they love that
text
game?
to speech? Unfortunately,
watch fight scenes. I don't need to watch. I'll need to like watch. To be like, what are they doing? I don't know. There's explosions.
Yeah, but what if they actually want to enjoy it?
That's what some devs are starting to add into games is, and what they should be doing with games is for people that are having a hard time, even while impaired, they should be like installing text to speech options, voice to speech, and whatever. So again, there are certain games that do that. Like Ghost of Tsushima is one of them. Sekiro is another one where it's all in Japanese, but like I can't speak a lick of it, but you know what, thank God for dubbed titles. But there are people that can't even speed read, that like it goes too fast. So again, implementing like technical abilities and options into games is definitely where the devs are starting to look into now, because nowadays, like again, there's a lot more issues coming out that like before in the past was never really a thing that occurred.
No.
Well, and I think like when it comes down
But I would rather, if I'm gonna play a Japanese game, I want it to be in English, because I do not want.
I don't want to read.
I don't want like Siri or whoever.
Unless I have to, I don't really want to. But I mean, I don't want to read. I don't want to read a video game. I want to enjoy my video game.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Well, I think also too, it depends on what the game is. Like I think Ghost of Tsushima is absolutely fantastic, and it hits harder because of like because of the time period and where you're playing it. That it hits harder in Japanese.
I don't feel just because it's in a different language that it hits harder for me at all.
Really?
Well, no. What he's saying is it's the authenticity of the actual time frame of the feudal era of Japan, of where it takes place. So the history, the game mechanics, the language, everything all in one. It's like, again, if you play Tarkov, well, where's Tarkov? It sounds like it's Eastern European. So you're already taking place in Eastern Europe with the Eastern military, so that setting.
Yeah,
so that's what he's trying to say. The authenticity of like the feudal era Japan of Ghost of Tsushima is actually like what triggers it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So like if there was a game too that was like African based, you know what I mean? I would love to hear it in that kind of language if it's that heavy. Because sometimes I've learned that like the English voiceover for it might kind of sound like a phoning in. Like you listen to it and you're like, it doesn't sound like they really want to be there. But like when it came to Ghost of Tsushima, especially even Sekiro too. Sekiro's another one too. That like because it's in Japan, it's that feudal era, everything around it. So like I have to. You can even do that game and play the game in like a black white setting,
right?
To give it like a more like an older Japanese feel to it. And I'm like, damn, like they went like all out on that one. You know what I mean?
Well, again, yeah, like to people that maybe don't want to play with it in like the language that it is, like in the Japanese setting, but maybe like the noir setting, or like that old school feel, like you're saying, yeah. So they're trying to cater to everybody as is. That's what they're trying to do. But it's not just that game. But yeah, so also another hot take. even though we've been like all around. This this one here
We have been.
is actually directed towards you both because you are our guests. But what is like your takes on dual gaming? So gamers that are in relationships versus also like or partners or like married, like you know what I mean? Like how do you feel about dual gaming as like a couple?
You mean multiplayer, like just duo though?
Like
No,
we
I mean
playing
just
together, you and I playing together.
yeah, like how do you like that? Like I'm not trying to put you on the spot like in that sense. I mean like there's a lot of people out there that, oh, if I get into a relationship or if I'm in a relationship, I want my partner, my soul to be gaming with me. But sometimes to people it's a constant struggle. Like they're yelling halfway across the room or they're getting a shit. It's like, oh, you're playing with so and so, blah 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 blah. But like, how does it feel knowing like you both at the same time, even when it comes to like family? Because
Oh,
I know you're Koga, I know you're big on family and everything,
oh
but
yeah.
like
You already know me well.
no, exactly. But what I'm trying to share is like, what is your take on dual gaming in one household?
My take on it is it's okay, but it's not easy because with echo and then things happen in life. Like you notice, for example, she's out there right now, right?
Right,
And and we got company coming over, and sometimes we're trying to do something, or we're or when I'm gaming, it's like how do I put this? It's okay. I like it. It's just this dual gaming is great. It's just the fact that some games we just can't fully get along, or sometimes you don't think the other person is listening, or you get upset at them. But you you get once you get to know the other person a little bit better, it gets easier. It really does. Especially when we're playing Power World, for example, together, or we're playing yeah, I'll just use Power World for example. We're playing that together, right? She'll be like, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go gather this way over here, but she wants me to be in the game with her, right? And I'm like, but I'm trying to go get stuff, but she wants me to be with her, and then she gets upset at me. It's like I'm trying to explain, and then I have to explain to her, I'm not taking off on you. I'm just going to get what's needed to progress through the game with you, you know? And then she thinks I'm using her stuff. You know what I mean? It gets a little hectic, but then once she understands what I'm doing, it gets, like I said, it gets better after that, right? So
right.
it's great. I like playing games with her. So I try. As a couple, I always try to play games with her, but even though she may not play the same games all the time, you know, she knows that I love to do my streams. She knows that I love to be gaming on all the games that I play. And if you want a list of them, I don't mind giving you a list of the games I love to play. But other than that, the games that we do play together, usually they're like laid back games because she's not the Call of Duty type. Just to say, you know what I mean? Like you can put her in a game, but she's not the Call of Duty type. She doesn't have that fast reaction to like. But I told her she wants to get better at something, and I'll keep telling her and telling everybody else the same thing. You want to get better? You keep trying, and the more you try and the more you play it, the better you'll get. And I promise you'll have more fun eventually. Like that's how it goes. You can't just play it and be like, oh yeah, this game sucks. No, you got to keep playing it until you're like better at it. If you really want it, you're gonna do it, right? So I try to, motivate her to do those things if she wants to. Right now, she's not a Call of Duty player, but if today, tomorrow, she was like, I want to, I'd motivate her to do it. You get what I'm saying? Like,
So in a way, it's an instant feel of gratification knowing that you and your partner, you guys are like encouraging one another to keep on going
yeah,
and
always.
everything. Yeah. So which is also a good thing, and it's also the fact that like it kind of makes your life a little bit easier, knowing the fact that like, hey, I'm doing my streams, or you know what, there's a wicked game that I want to play, and it's like
Yeah,
you have
keep
kind
at
of
it.
less stress in your life versus somebody, let's say, who's not in a gaming relationship, like where you have one who's a gamer and then the other person is like, oh, I don't care about video games, or like, you know what, you go play with your toys while I go do something else. It's like
Yeah.
that constant like.
It's not that kept constant bickering between one another. No, she knows what I like to do. She accepts me for who I am. and I accept her for who she is and
Right.
whatever she enjoys. Like, for example, I'm not an outdoorsy person. I'll be honest with anyone. Okay, I'm not. I don't like to go out. I'd rather stay here doing this, right? And she loves to be outdoors, but so sometimes I'll make sacrifices and I'll go out and I'll do those things. So she'll make sacrifices and play games she don't like to play with me sometimes, and that's okay as long as I don't even care if she plays with me if she doesn't want to. I just
No.
the fact that if she does, I'll include her.
No, of course.
Like, remember when we played that vampire game together and she wasn't really
Blood
great
Hunt.
at it, but she played, Blood Hunt. And we played together. Well,
Yeah.
I said, honey, get on here. Remember we were playing together, and you're like, where's Justine? I'm like, I don't know. I'll go get her. I go get her.
Well,
We start playing.
again, like you don't say you want to play with me, and then I'm like, well, where's the third?
Yeah.
I'm like, like, guys, I'm ready to take a bullet for you. Where the hell are you guys? So I'm taking a bullet for nothing behind me. Like, yeah, my gaming buddy's just up and bitched. I'm like, next. Next.
No.
So
No, that makes sense. I mean, I don't like. I come from, like, obviously my fiance is not really like a gamer at all. Like, she'll play every once in a while, but she's not really a gamer at all. And
yes, me and her are a couple, just so anyone gets that.
And the thing is that you just want someone who's going to be able to respect what you do at that point
and love you for who you are.
Like,
right?
For me, I like
you gotta
painting.
be who you are.
I like playing. I like painting. I like doing paint by numbers. I like doing diamond painting. I like doing different things.
Puzzles. You like
that Twitch painting by numbers was good.
Video games.
Stitch.
It's okay. Like, I'm not like super big fan of playing, but I mean, like, I'll play, but I can't sit for like 5-6 hours like everyone else can because I have ADHD and I get restless and I can't just sit on the couch and like sit here comfortable and be like, oh, I'm gonna sit here, play a game, and be like, yeah, I'll find it. No, I can't.
No, that's fine. But the more of the take was just, it's always fascinating to see when you have amazing couples that are into the same stuff that like join together to play their games and everything like that. That's why it's actually good that like I got to ask, like, and you got to share, like how it is, because like Afro was saying, in his relationship and everything, he's the sole gamer versus his what shall we say at this point? Your fiance?
Yeah.
Like it's there, but when you're together like you guys are, there's more of a connection. There's more of an understanding. I'm not saying that she doesn't like in Afro's case. It doesn't like they will never understand. No, they have a perfect relationship as well. This is more of gamers, like because we're on the side of gamers saying how does it work when you have multiple gamers in a household but that are together as opposed to just being all friends in one household.
Yeah.
Like you're actually living with another partner. You're actually playing with another partner. You're connected to that other partner. And like, what are the pros? Like, because I know I've heard a lot of cons as well. Everybody has their pros and their cons, but it's like it's always just great to see when you see like
great to see
a pair that connect very well.
They actually work together and actually play a game together. Yeah,
exactly. That pair very well.
Don't get me wrong, but yeah, me and Koga don't always. Yes, I was gonna say your real name, but anyways, yes, me and Koga don't always like see eye to eye playing the same game, and
when I'm there, I want to shoot you guys sometimes.
Sometimes I like I get upset with him, and I'll be like, "You're not being like understanding, and you're not understanding me, and." He doesn't.
Sometimes I'll make it easier.
You're not very patient with me. And
sometimes you don't understand me, and I don't understand you. So we sometimes have to, stop ourselves, and we have to like pull away for a minute, and then think of what each other are trying to say, and then we have to turn around and be like, okay, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to understand each other in a game. Like I said, in Power World, we go. She wants me to be there all the time, right? I take off to go to another location. She thinks I'm taking off to do something else somewhere else. When really, I'm just going to get material to bring it back where we are, right? Yeah. So, but then I have to explain that.
Even Path of Titans. Path of Titans, I saw actually like at one point she vanished. She got eaten, and then you were like, okay.
Yeah, right.
It's like, well, you should have stuck with us. And it's like,
yeah,
that dinosaur got eaten. It's like, okay, now what?
I try to give warnings, and if someone doesn't follow the warning I give them, well.
I mean, that one time that you tried to warn me and caught, I just got the gun. I just kind of cocked it back, and I was just about to. And then I'm like, no, maybe I should just keep him for now because I need somebody alive.
Pretty much.
But I mean, like sometimes he's just not patient with me, and sometimes he needs to be a little slower with me.
I'm a little too quick.
Yeah. You're a little Well, well, no, I'm not. No, I know. I'm not saying it in a bad sense. That's again
a little bit. It is a little bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Well, hello. That's why I'm a Scorpion. So get this thing every once in a while. Get used to it, buddy.
Never.
But already, y'all. We're gonna kind of end this one here. I want to give some final thoughts for Koga and Justine. Make sure, do you guys have any like socials? Like you guys are up on Twitch and stuff. Mm-hmm. Want to give shouts outs like you guys usually, like we usually do ourselves.
Like I give a shout out to Sarah, just Sarah, and
if you want.
Koga, well, technically, I would.
I'm right now at the moment. Okay, well, I'll just say this. At the moment, I'm not streaming on my Twitch account simply because I'm trying to switch over something. I kind of screwed up on getting rid of my phone, so now my alternator ain't working. So I'm trying to get that situated. Until then, I'm streaming on my YouTube.
And, so what's your YouTube if you want to?
Buddy
it's Buddy BUDDY 4100. That would be here. I'll even do this.
Buddy 4100.
There we go. I put it in there just like you both did. Yes, exactly like that. That would be me right now, actually, on YouTube. Because I put it on there, as you can see in the chat, right?
All right. So they also got it up on Twitch as well.
Yeah.
Alrighty, y'all. I appreciate you guys being able to make it on here.
Thank you.
Definitely.
This was fun. I'd do it again.
Yeah, do it again.
I'll let you guys know about that in the future. Alrighty. Appreciate everyone watching. And as I always say, I'm Taylor from AfrofishOG, and I will catch you all in the next one.
Nice meeting you, Taylor. See you later.